Recently, there's a video of an MMA fighter beating up a pro wrestler, and the MMA fighter is none other than Quentin Rampage Jackson's son. There was a lot of reaction in social media about this incident, and I wanted to look at what led to this incident and what was the thing that triggered this young man to do this type of act towards this pro wrestler. So here's a little quick video of what led to this incident. And before we get to the video, if you're new to my channel, please make sure you like, you share, you subscribe. Let's get to it.
Psycho worried about Psycho Stew.
Psycho Stew?
What, you don't know me?
Hell no. Yeah.
Man, I think that's what's going on.
Oh! What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? You don't sell it?
You know, after I did a little research on this, came to find out that the wrestler, he thought that guy, Raja Jackson, the son of Quentin Rampage Jackson, was part of an act because he's a pro wrestler. And if you know anything about pro wrestling, know that most of the things that they do is scripted, it's planned out, and it's already well orchestrated and well planned. So he thought since that kid or that young man by the name of Raja Jackson is a streamer from a platform called Kick, he had cameraman with him, and he assumed they were part of the act, they were part of the show. So he approached him, and then he basically took I guess it was a prop can, soda can, and cracked it in his head. And once he realized that he wasn't part of the show, he was just a random person, and he basically apologized 3 times, and they shook hands. But since he was live streaming this incident, most people in his platform started basically calling him names, saying that he's a sissy, he should never let this slide, he should go crash out, he should do something to this guy because what he did is not fair, and this and that. And keep in mind, this kid, this young man is, he's training to be an MMA fighter. He's trained to be an MMA fighter, and his father was a successful MMA fighter. His father, I kept up with him because I'm also a fan of MMA. I watched the UFC, I watched Bellator, I watched the One Championship. So his father had a successful career in UFC, and also he had a pretty good successful career also in Japan because he also fought in Japan, and I believe he even got married to a Japanese woman at some point. But yeah, so he basically had a successful career, and he was training his son, and he was live streaming this his training and things like that. So allegedly, I guess he got triggered by people's comment about, you know, him letting this slide. He should not let this slide, and he should take action. And here's a quick little video of what led to the incident where he took off on this pro wrestler and just beat him up senseless while he was unconscious.
Pissed me off, bro. It didn't even hurt. It just pissed me off. And shit pissed me off. And I'm gonna have to get him back. They said I can go in the ring and get his ass. I don't even know what I'm gonna do. Bro, my dad can't do shit. I'm gonna fake crash out. All right, bet. Bet. We about to see. You about to see how fake I'm gonna crash out. It's always been my dream to fuck up a pro wrestler for real. So I get it today. Am I really gonna fight him? Yeah, I'm gonna punch his ass for real. I don't believe me getting disrespected too. I'm too nice. Bet. That shit was not staying. I'm telling you that right now. How many subs to knock him out? That's a good question. 50 subs, knock him out. If he hits me back for real, I don't give a fuck. I want him to. Y'all want me to teabag him? People think this shit's sweet. People think this shit's a fucking game. Hey, you're right, Joel. I gotta show him some form of respect. Then they don't train no goddamn martial arts. I'm really going to hit him, I'm telling you. What should I do, chat? Should I pick him up? Should I slam him first or hit him? W, if I should slam him first, I'm not fucking around. You don't think I can do it, Miggy? My dad can't never call me a bitch. Fuck this dude. Oh, you think he's stronger than me? Alright, Suave, watch. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, Suave. What you would be talking like this if you was in front of me, nigga? Chad, watch what I do to you. Tony, I'ma show you. I'ma show you, Tony.
A few moments later.
I didn't want to show the other part of the video where he slammed him, because once he slammed him on the canvas, the man was already unconscious, and then he basically punched him about 20 times, and it was clean punches until another wrestler came and took him off of him. And in the meantime, that thing was going on. The ref was just standing right there doing nothing. And when you watch the whole video, he talks about how the organization gave him permission to basically go in there and throw some fake punches towards that guy. His name is Psycho Stu. And I guess he went in there, he got triggered by everybody's comment, calling him a bitch, calling him soft. He started throwing real punches, and it was about 20 of them, and that man was already out by the time he basically slammed him on the canvas. You know, when I take a look at this and I analyze this, you know, the pro wrestler by the name of Psycho Stu, he has a couple things. He has a couple lawsuits if I was in his position. He can sue that guy, Rampage Jackson. He's a famous streamer in a platform called Kicks. I don't know how much he's making. I don't know how much, you know, endorsement he has or anything like that. But he can actually file a lawsuit where he can basically get paid for punitive damage and many other things. And on top of that, he can also sue the organization, because if you look at the video, that the guy, Rampage Jackson, mentioned that the organization gave him permission to go inside a ring and try to punch this dude, but he started throwing real punches. And on top of that, the ref was standing right there. So I don't know requirement when it comes to, you know, referee protecting wrestling.
It didn't even hurt. It just pissed me off.
The ref is in there to be able to protect boxers, especially when they're in danger. So I don't know what's their guideline, what's their policies when it comes to those type of things.
It's always been my dream to fuck up a pro wrestler for real.
I think if he gets a good lawyer, he can definitely get some money out of either the organization or even Rampage Jackson. And on top of that, he can also file for a criminal charge, because some people are saying he should be charged for attempted murder, and others are just saying he should be charged for assault. So that's up to him, because I think his father, Rampage Jackson, just mentioned that the wrestler, he's stable, but he's in critical condition.
What should I do, Chad? Should I pick him up? Should I slam him first or hit him? W if I should slam him first. Not fucking around. You don't think I can do it, Miggy?
Etc.
My dad can't never call
and on top of that, since he's a pro wrestler, a lot of major pro wrestlers are actually supporting him. Even a lot of MMA fighters are supporting him. You have one of the biggest YouTubers, Mr. Beast, is offering to pay for his
A
medical
few
bills.
moments
You
later.
have Chris Jericho, who's also another pro wrestler, who donated about $2,500 into his GoFundMe account.
It didn't even hurt.
You have other MMA fighters such as
and I'm gonna have to get him
Sean
back.
Strickland.
You
You have
I
people
don't even know
such
what I'm gonna
as
do. No, my dad can't do shit.
even like Rikishi. They're all talking about this, and so I think for the wrestler, sooner or later, once this thing basically settled, he will come out in a better position, even financially. And let's not forget, when you take a look at this pro wrestler, he's a U.S. Military veteran. So he served this country. So there will be also a lot of veterans that could probably support him in the future and things like that. So he will come out basically in a better position. Hopefully his health is still intact. Hopefully all those 20 punches that he took did not cause any further damage compared to what he had when he served in the military and also doing pro wrestling. So that's his side. When you look at Rampage Jackson, I think his life could potentially be turned upside down, because one, he's dealing with the criminal charge, either attempted murder or even assault. So if he get charged for attempted murder, he could probably potentially be serving maybe 10, 15, maybe even 20 years in jail. And on top of that, so many evidence is against him because he was live streaming everything. And the persecutor and whoever lawyer he is, they will be able to use those videos against him. They'll be able to use those videos even in court. And he should try to get, one of the most, expensive lawyer that will be able to at least try to get him a minimum charge. And if he get lucky and the judge is feeling a little bit lenient towards him, he could potentially probably get 5 years or get sentenced to a low security prison, or he can probably even join an anger management course or class that he'll have to attend. That's if he get lucky. So I don't know how the court is going to, react towards this. It was a public event. It was something that went public, and he basically live streamed everything. And most likely the court or the judge will try to make an example out of him. But in my opinion, I think he should do some prison time, because that was not necessary to get to that point where you're punching a man who's unconscious, where before this incident, he basically apologized to you. And yeah, it's kind of sad to see things like that happen, but it's unfortunate. And his whole world would basically be turned upside down of this situation. And on top of that, he could be sent to prison, where you will be around a lot of emotionally triggered men, because prison is filled with a lot of emotionally triggered men. A lot of men are emotionally triggered in prison, and he will be among them. And one false move, prison is a very dangerous place, because I don't care how tough you think you are, there's always someone who's much tougher and much stronger and much more cunning than you in prison. He can get sliced up, he can get injured, he can get hurt. There's a lot of ways that, prison should be prevented, because it's a dangerous place. I don't care how tough you are. And finally, I will have to blame this also to the father in some sort of way, because I went to his live streaming page and I saw how his father be training him. I know his father was a MMA fighter, but one thing that stood out to me a lot was the fact that his father would be calling him a bitch. You're a punk, you're soft, publicly in the live stream. And he will consistently be saying that, calling him a bitch. And it's messing with that child's or his son's head in a way. And now it opened doors for other people, even his platform, to feel like, they can call him a bitch too. They can call him soft. They can call him this. And it started to trigger him. And then now he has to show people that, you can't disrespect me and this and that, because his father, in a way, directly or indirectly opened that door, so people feel like they had the audacity to call him a bitch. Because even before that, he got knocked out in a sparring session where he got kicked in the head by accident, and he was still dealing with some sort of concussion, and he should have not been in any physical altercation like how he was with that wrestler. But I remember when my little brother was growing up, because me and my little brother, we have like a 12-year age gap between each other. And then I have my younger sister, which we have about 10-year age gap. So when they used to go to middle school and high school together, they'll always argue publicly about, just small things. They'll start calling each other names and stuff like that. So one day I sat both of them down. I even said my little brother, I'm like, listen, man, you should not be calling your sister a name, especially in front of your friends. And you should not even be calling her a name. Because when you're calling her all these derogatory words towards a woman, you are giving access to your friend and her friend to start calling her those names. Because now if your friends start calling your sister these derogatory words, you won't like it. Now you're going to try to fight him because you're trying to defend your sister. But they're calling her those names because they've seen you, the closest person to her, is calling her those names. So in a way, you're opening doors for people to be able to call you name. So that's the same thing with Rampage Jackson. You calling your son a bitch in a live stream, and stuff like that, and it's getting to his head. If you want to call him a bitch, you want to call him a sissy, you want to call him soft, you can call him basically privately. Publicly, yeah, you can scold him, you can be tough on him, but calling somebody name like that, it triggers a child because he trusts his father, that's his father, and someone who he loves is calling him those names, and then now you have people all over him is calling him the same name that his father calls him. It can trigger something inside someone. And on top of that, this is a message to all the fathers out there and even the young men out there who's watching this video. I think it's very important, even for a father, to be able to try to teach their kids how to control their emotion when they're in a young age. Because if a man does not control their emotion, or if a woman cannot control their emotion when they're younger, once they get older, they will be dealing with emotional problem. They won't have the emotional intelligence to be able to deal with so much circumstance, to be able to walk away or just be like, you know what, this is a waste of my energy. You need to have emotional control, and it needs to be something that it's happening when you're younger. So as a father, as a mother, and for all the young men and all the young women, try to control your emotion, because once you get older, your emotion can lead you to do action that could lead you to either end up in prison, either end up in jail, or end up hurting someone, or end up just doing something that can cause you a lifetime of hurt. Now this guy, Rampage Jackson, could potentially be in prison, could potentially serve some time, lose a lot of time because he was trying to be an MMA fighter. Now his emotion got the best of him, and now he could potentially spend a lot of time behind bars, where you are in a place where a lot of emotionally triggered men, and it's a very dangerous place. So let me know what you guys think in the comment about this situation. And if you're new to my channel, please make sure you like, you share, you subscribe. Till next time.